getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan.
Hey guys, welcome back for another video. This video is actually going to be an informative video for you guys, and actually talking about dissociative identity disorders, also known as multiple personality disorders or DID. But before I get into that, I want to tell you guys the word of the day. The word of the day today is self-care. Take care of your emotional, physical, and mental health. How can you do that? Well, what you can do is aim for a good diet, a healthy diet. Also, exercise. Exercise is good for the body, but also it can be good to reduce anxiety for you guys. Everybody, gets tense or worked up. But, there's different ways to kind of calm ourselves down and different coping skills that we may use to help us, reduce stress or whatever. So take care. Maybe get your essential oil diffuser, your stress balls, maybe bath bombs, whatever you like, and just take time for yourself. Maybe go on a spa day. I know some people like to get their nails done. Some people may like to go shopping, hiking, swimming, whatever that is, do that for yourself. Take time out. Everyone is busy working, yes, but there are some times that we are at home and just laying there. We may, just watch TV. Maybe use that time to just take to yourself and just have a nice time. So, again, we're going to talk about dissociative identity disorders. So, I'm actually going to read from the DSM-5. Because usually when someone is diagnosed with a dissociative identity disorder, they look for these certain things. So, they look for a disruption in identity characterized by two or more distinct personality states, which may be described in some cultures as an experience of possession. The disruption in identity involves marked discontinuity in sense of self and sense of agency. So they are usually looking for it to be accompanied by related alterations in affect, behavior, consciousness, memory, perception, cognition, and or sensory motor functions. So these signs and symptoms may be observed by others or reported by the individual. So basically what that's basically saying is, say we're walking down the street. Someone's walking down the street. They flip out. They, hit someone on the sidewalk. They go to the grocery store, come home. Well, they don't remember hitting the person on the sidewalk, or maybe don't even remember going into the grocery store. All they remember is walking, blacking out, going home. They also look for the person to have recurrent gaps in the recall of everyday events, important personal information, and or traumatic events that are inconsistent with ordinary forgetting. We may forget to turn off the light in a room before we leave, but this isn't what it's talking about. It's talking about things that a person normally does, and it's expected for us to do. But this person may not be able to do that or remember to do that without needing help, or, someone saying, "Are you okay?" They usually are in like a daze. They're zoning out. They're zoned out. Maybe some people describe it as a switch. They also look for symptoms that cause clinical significant distress or impairment in social, occupational, or other areas of functioning. The disturbance is not a normal part of broadly accepted cultural or religious practices. So in children, the symptoms are not better explained by imaginary playmates or other fantasy play. Also, they look for the symptoms are not being attributable to physiological effects of a substance, an example, blackouts, or chaotic behavior during alcohol or intoxication, or other medical conditions, an example, complex partial seizures. So basically what I want to tell you guys about this is it's like a mental disorder that is like memory gaps, where people just don't remember what they did a second ago, or what they did a minute ago, or whatever episode that happened, they don't even recall. Usually someone may bring it to their attention like, what do you mean you don't remember, yelling at me and screaming at me? What do you mean you don't remember this happening to you? It happened to you. They don't remember. So a key feature of this dissociative identity disorder is trauma. The trauma often involves physical, sexual, or emotional abuse. It might also be linked to accidents, natural disasters, or war. Episodes of DID can be triggered. A lot of things have a trigger. Triggers may be like a real bad accident, events that remind them of what happened, illness, stress. The symptoms usually are memory gaps, depersonalization, derealization, post-traumatic flashbacks, is disremembered actions. Actually, I wanted to answer a few questions some people may have. I actually wrote them down that some people may ask about to understand what dissociative identity disorders are. Some people may ask, so does that mean that they have more than one personality? So dissociative identity disorders, they actually lack connection among a person's sense of identity, memory, and consciousness. People with this disorder actually do not have more than one personality. Actually, they rather have less than one. And I say that because, again, they're having memory gaps. The memories that we have and remember kind of not make us as a person, but it creates how we act. Well, they don't remember certain things. But they may not know that they don't remember, unless it's brought to their attention, or unless they done something and then they find evidence of what was done with them. Like maybe something had happened, like a car accident. They end up at the hospital. Well, of course they're going to wake up at the hospital and say, what happened to me? What happened? Why am I all, broken down? What happened? And they're being told you were in a bad car accident. You're going to have to stay for a few days. Also, what some people may ask is, are these people often misdiagnosed? Yes, actually they are. Sometimes they're actually misdiagnosed as having schizophrenia because their belief is that they have different identities, could be interpreted as delusional. So The other question some people may have asked is a person aware that they have it? So again, like I said before, sometimes they are not aware, unless if somebody brings it to their attention. They may be confused, lost. So how can you guys know if you have a family member or friend who may have a dissociative disorder? Basically, again, they may look at it as a switch. So you may notice sudden changes or moods of the person or the behavior of the person. They may forget or deny what happened to them. Family members can also describe the switches as being sudden or startling. The person may go from being fearful, dependent, excessively apologetic, to being very upset and violent. They may report hearing or remembering something that was said a few minutes later. But the best ways to support a family member that is being treated is being open, accepting, and do not take sides with one or the other component of what was remembered, like their identity. Don't pick, oh, I believe this one, or oh, I believe that. No, don't do that. Be very, very open to what they have to say. Listen to them. Understand them. Try to understand them. It may be hard for people to try to understand someone if you have not went through the same thing. Can dissociative amnesia be temporary? And will a person typically regain their memory? So it can be temporary depending on how severe it is. So if a person, is a very severe case, usually the person may need treatment, therapy. Now, everybody heals in their own way and rate. So you don't really want to put a time on anyone, but really, without treatment, it can maybe come back. You never know. But again, triggers may happen. So if you're not getting a proper treatment, it could either get worse and not get better, or it can get a little better through time, but then get worse again. So I know a lot of many victims who are assaulted that actually have this. They picture themselves actually not being a person being assaulted, but being a person looking at someone who is being assaulted, if you know what that means. Like, basically, they are feeling like they're out of their body. They feel numb. They're floating above their bodies, feeling sorry for the person beneath them, but it's really them. Many ways they detach themselves from the painful or unpleasant experiences. When certain things like that happens, your brain doesn't want to remember the bad things. Now, again, this doesn't happen to everybody, but sometimes your brain does not want to remember the bad things that happen. So it may try to erase it. The sad thing about it is, when it goes to, if you want to go tell someone what had happened to you, you can't really remember everything that would help put the pieces together. It's like you would have one piece here and one piece that would connect actually going like this. So it's not really painting a picture for the person who wants to help you. I want to actually end this on this note. What's not understood can be understood through learning about what's going on with your friend, family member, even strangers. Because you may run into somebody who may have a dissociative identity disorder, but you may not recognize it because you don't know. Well, we all need to help ourselves understand people who aren't like us, aren't going through the same things. I need to understand you. You should understand me. We should understand each other. So that's the video for today. I hope you guys learned a good amount from it. The next video will also be a type of dissociative disorder. I will make sure I have my notes to make sure I have the right words to say to get you guys to understand the different things and mental disorders. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.